Welcome back to another Sports Sunday video. First off, I'd like to apologize for the delay in this Sports Sunday video, but at least now we're able to include week 1 of the NFL in the regular season. It got underway Thursday evening where the Packers beat the Bears in pretty much a defensive-minded game. It was 10-7. Bears had 5 sacks in that game, and it was just pretty much defense that was basically the statement of the entire game, and it all just came down to which defense ended up letting up towards the end. And that being said, we're going to be giving you guys not just the biggest surprises of which teams we think will go above and beyond expectations, but also the teams that will be the biggest disappointments. We'll have 3 of the disappointment teams and also 3 of the scheduled or regular format of Sports Sunday. We'll include Premier League, Serie A, international football, and as well as pretty soon we have the MLB playoffs coming up too because it's the last month of the season. And we'll also, if you would like to, let us know your verdict in the comments below if you want us to talk about the FIBA World Cup. And also, let me try something a little different too for this NFL season. If you want us to give some fantasy football advice, whether you're playing on FanDuel, DraftKings, ESPN, wherever you guys are playing at, let us know that verdict in the comments section below as well. So if you want us to give us our fantasy football picks or any advice or questions you have for that, just a little something different we want to try out for this NFL season. We haven't done it previously, but let us know if you guys want us to include that as well too. So that being said too, we're going to start with the biggest disappointments. First, I'm going to say is going to be the Raiders, not just because of the Antonio Brown drama and now with him being with the Patriots. It just seems like the team, just given that they're trying to move, they're going to be moving to Las Vegas, just see like they're not going to really be living up to expectations. And really just now without Antonio Brown too, I think just really going to really throw off a lot of their plays and really their game plan as well too overall. And I just don't see them really doing much this season too. Now, I'm not sure for some people how high people's expectations for the Raiders were, but I just think with the Antonio Brown situation too, they'll probably be one of the biggest disappointments of this season. Also, the next biggest disappointment too is going to be the Steelers, not just for losing Le'Veon Bell to the Jets, but also losing Antonio Brown. I just don't see Ben Roethlisberger and the rest of the team really having enough talent to really carry the team. They'll still be a decent enough team in the AFC North, but I just still think they're going to really be that as competitive. I wouldn't be surprised if they missed the playoffs this season, but we're going to have to find out as well too because they're going to be playing tonight against the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. Those are just overall biggest disappointments. It's not meaning to say too they'll be the worst performing teams who have the worst record. It's just because they'll be in terms of where they actually end up to versus where most people thought they were going to be and then where they actually end up. So that's how we break down biggest disappointments for our teams. Let us know if you disagree. Comment section below who you think would be the biggest disappointment. Just seeing some of the early games right now too. I can already tell you that with the Miami Dolphins losing to the Ravens 59-10, I picked these biggest disappointment teams too before Week 1 started. I'm still going to stick with the original ones that I did too, but I wouldn't be surprised too, given that what we saw the Dolphins play. You really call it that when they're actually up to, but their backup quarterback didn't play all that bad too, considering the Chiefs are a really good team. And even though they ended up losing, I believe it was by 2 scores. I think it was like 40-24. I believe the final score of that game was. But overall, with that, just their backup quarterback still played better than I thought too. Now, depending upon when Foles comes back from his injury, too, obviously the Jaguars in terms of how their upward trajectory, but I still think that they're still a team that, at least give them a chance too. That given now they have to face this week 1 injury with Nick Foles, I still think it's still a team that you could still watch and they're still at least perform well given what they have. Second biggest surprise too, I'm going to say too, it's going to be kind of a long shot here too. I'm going to go with the Texans. They're not going to play until Monday night against the Saints, but now with the DL injury, you now have Duke Johnson now being their running back. I think this team has a lot to prove. And they're going to be probably one of the hungrier teams in the NFL. And they're probably going to see probably a better season from them, too, than I would say, too, from previous seasons. So the third biggest surprise, too, I would say, for this season, I would say, too, right now, currently they're playing against the Bucs. It's the 49ers. Just right now, too, I think they're trying to really just make let everybody know that this is more of like a turnaround season and just honestly show everybody, too, that they can actually compete. I think this season, too, they're going to actually try to... does not mean I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, obviously, but I still think they're going to be a lot more competitive than what people believe. Probably another surprise, too. I guess I can see another Week 1 surprise, too, along with that, too. Obviously, I saw 2 additional disappointing teams, but probably another surprise team, too, as of right now. I really don't see anybody as of yet. Now, I'll say, too, just a side note, too, the Colts and Chargers, it was 17-6 at halftime. Maybe the Chargers could be a bit of a surprise this season. Now, again, it's going to all depend upon, I guess, if they do end up making the playoffs, who they face in the playoffs first. But again, they're playing the Colts, too. But then with Andrew Luck's surprise retirement, say the Colts, too, I wouldn't really call them the biggest disappointment, too, because I guess most people kind of expected that this is not really going to be their year. Even with Brissett being their quarterback now, not sure how much he's going to be able to do. But anyway, just being said too, I guess if I had to pick one big surprise team, maybe like Washington right now too, just because of how well they competed against my team, against the Eagles, even though we ended up still winning that game 32-27. They played a lot better in the first half than I really expected, especially with the quarterback that they have with Case Keenum. And I was just really surprised too that how they were able to tear apart the Eagles secondary and just the long touchdown passes that they had too. So it was kind of impressive that with Keenum that they were able to at least compete as well as they did against the Eagles being in Philadelphia. Even despite that, too, they're still giving them a lot of credit for at least competing the way they did against us, even though they didn't end up winning. There could be a surprise, too, down the road for that team, too, but I guess we'll see. But, again, that remains to be seen for that. I would just say, too, for my team right now as well, too, I just didn't really make me feel too optimistic about the rest of the season. I wouldn't call them a biggest disappointment yet, even though they still won and they were able to come back from a 17-0 deficit. But again, it's going to all depend upon how the rest of the season is going to turn out and then what we're going to do going forward after, at least even though we won earlier today. But it's going to have to see really overall, which say play it much better and just being more consistent and really just like how we play. Probably just to add to as well too, I know the season's obviously already started. I guess if I had to give a Super Bowl prediction right now too, if I really had to say it, right now, just because I don't want to just say the Patriots are going to win just because it's very cliche and they won last year and they've won like 6 Super Bowls over the past, almost 20 years now. But I would probably say, too, I'm leaning towards the Patriots being the most likely if I had to pick an AFC team just because they added Antonio Brown, even though he's not going to be playing in the Week 1 matchup against the Steelers. If I had to pick... but I wouldn't blame people if they picked the Chiefs either, but being an Eagles fan, knowing their head coach, how they play in the playoffs, it probably isn't going to happen. But right now, if I had to pick a team, I really wanted to pick the Eagles, but even this season too, like I just didn't really see just enough personnel to the ability to carry us to another Super Bowl win. I know it's going to be cliche too, and probably a lot of people aren't going to like this too. I'm probably going to go with the Patriots. See another team really being dominant enough or really being consistent enough to really play against them. But again, we'll have to see as well too. It's only one week. We'll have to see how the rest of the season turns out. But right now, I'll probably have to go with the Patriots right now, being my Super Bowl pick. That being said, thank you guys for watching our latest Sports Sunday video. Just going over the beginning of the 2019 NFL season. Your own Super Bowl pick. If you disagree with ours, let us know that verdict in the comments section below. Who you think, again, were the biggest disappointments are going to be this season, the biggest surprises you think are going to be for this season, how your team did, and what you think your team's going to do going forward. And we'll get back to our regular Sports Sunday format where we're talking about international football. We'll also be talking about the MLB playoffs coming up. So that's going to be coming up real soon. We're going to have just see who's going to end up being in the wild card playoff matchups, and then who's going to be competing in the ALDS and NLDS series. That's going to be coming up very soon. Thank you again, guys, for watching. Our next stream will be 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube. We're going to be streaming NBA 2K20, which is the last game in our latest gaming poll as of right now. Thank you to those who have voted. We'll see you guys later on tonight with some NBA 2K20 when we're streaming here on our YouTube channel. Thank you again for watching, and we will see you guys a little bit later on tonight.